Bam! It's time for a review. What we're looking at here is today is this Jurassic Park 93 Classic Dennis Nedry Track and Chase Pack. Now, I really like this thing because I'm really interested in this vehicle. So this little vehicle here, and that is not the Dennis Nedry that I remember. I remember that gentleman being a lot more rotund. But we'll get to that when we get inside the box here. You'll see that I picked this bad boy up at Ollie's, $9.99, just how I like it, nice and cheap. It says here the original price was $17.99, but it was probably more than that in the stores. When I picked this thing up in Ollie's, it was also in Targets. So like you could literally go into the Target and get it for full price, or you can just go right across the street to the Ollie's and get it for $9.99. Not too shabby. And I had a 15% off coupon, so this thing came out to like $7, $6, $7, something like that. Look out for those Ollie's coupons. You can sign up for an account on the Ollie's website, you become part of the battalion, and they'll send you 15% off coupons every once in a while. So here's a dinosaur, it's a Velociraptor. In the back here, here's old beefy Nedry on his vehicle there, shooting at the dinosaur. Now, this must be some kind of a multiverse. This must be like Jurassic Park multiverse, because I'm pretty sure that this Dennis Nedry guy, he got jacked up by Dilophosaurus, and he was, trying to get out with the shaving cream. Remember that movie? But this must be some alternate theory here, because he's looking quite different than I remember. If we look here, this particular pack is a Mattel pack. I tend to like these. Let's see, when was this released? It was relatively 2023, so it's relatively new. There's a lot of features here. I really like this packaging. It's a shame that I'm going to be ripping this bad boy open, but that's what we do here. I do like this. The presentation is very nice for what you got. It's kind of weird, the UPC's on this side, but hey, whatever. All right, let's go ahead and get this bad boy out of the box. All right, and here's what you're looking at inside of the plastic prison. You see the dinosaur here. He's kind of affixed with these tabs. These are kind of annoying to snip off, but whatever. Nice little diorama background here. This one's kind of small, but it's really nice. 2023 Mattel in the corner there. He's kind of firmly affixed. Inside of the box, inside of here, were these things. So this bag here, I would imagine this is Nedry and his bike. There's 3 bags. Little hole there, it's kind of interesting. I guess let it breathe. That's kind of cool. All right, I'm going to continue ripping this thing open. Just wanted to kind of give you all a nice little look at what's inside the box. Be right back. Another thing I wanted to point out is there was this nice little instruction pack too. This is pretty nice. I mean, a lot of toys these days aren't doing this kind of thing. Kind of shows you what you're looking at here and some warnings. But look at this, folds out. Nice. Got some stuff to put together on the old bike there. Shows you how to put the guy on there. Look at Nedry. He looks a little chunky there, but on the front he's looking jacked. So we're gonna check that out once we get him out of the box. He's got his glasses on there. He looks kind of like the Nedry in the movie. But I'd like to know what happened here. How come he turned into this buff dinosaur hunter dude when he died? You know what I'm saying? Like he did. And then over here we've got, this is the play feature here. Nedry doing his dinosaur capture activities apparently. Capture the dinosaur with the claw. It shows you here some of the movements you can get on the claw. Movable claw. And then on the back, some more instructions. So, we saw other toys from other lines, Transformers, for example, that had no instructions, which is really unfortunate for a kid toy. This one's probably targeted more towards the adult collector because they're trying to hit you into that nostalgic feel. But, it's nice to get a little bit of instructions. All right, let me continue the unboxing here. Be right back. All right, as I'm opening this thing up and kind of unboxing, I picked up the motorcycle and I was pleasantly impressed. Look at that. Is this like not screaming Tiger Force to anyone? And it's got the Jurassic Park symbols there. But to me, man, this is screaming like straight up Tiger Force. You can put this on a G.I. Joe. Put a G.I. Joe guy on here, a Tiger Force G.I. Joe guy, and I think it would look awesome. Now, unfortunately, it's got these holes here on this side and that side. That's a little, it's a little rough just having it like that, but that's for the accessories that we'll put on. The wheels here, they're actually kind of like rubberized. Kind of nice, not too bad. Look at that. All right, so let me get this thing continue. I wanted to show off. What is that? There's some damage. Look at that. There's some damage on this bad boy. Right there, like some messed up plastic. Oh, well, hey, what are you going to do? QA, a little QA problem there. There's like some stuff on my finger. Oof. It's got a little bit of scratching there. If you see that, it's a little weird. I don't know how that scratching would have got on there. That's like a manufacturer defect or something. Overall, though, this is pretty cool. I like this bike. You know, you can line these things up. They kind of sit here. See if I can show you all that. Kind of sit here. It's got the kickstand. The kickstand is pretty cool. Let me pull up a G.I. Joe and let's see what that looks like. Boom, look at that. Old Snake Eyes with the Lego hands. What's going on, Snake Eyes? He's waving hello. Look at that. He didn't. I got him in a yard sale. He didn't have no hands. I mean, it's kind of a running joke here on the channel, but I got these little Lego hands in here for him. Let's see if old Snake Eyes, how he looks there on the old bike. Oh man, look at that. Not too shabby. Zoom in a little bit. Hey, Snake Eyes, man, you want to go for a ride? Yeah? Yeah? No, not right now, buddy. Get on out of here. All right, some good fun there. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. Here's the other things that came in the pack. Let's go over them real quick before I put them on. I think this is part of the thing that made Nedry over there so buff. He's got this little weapon thing. You put his head in here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do with this thing, because I might be able to put this on other figures and see what that looks like. That came with that, and it came with these accessories here. These are like little missile shooter things. You get the missile, you put it down inside of there, and then this attaches into the side of the bike. I like the bike just like this. You know, I think that is really sweet. You get like a fleet of these if you can get these on clearance. I got them for $9.99 minus 15% or so. But if you can get 4 or 5 of them, you can line them up, some Tiger Force dudes on there. Not too shabby. And then here's the claw on the other side of the bike. Let's go ahead and kit the bike out, and then more importantly, let's see if you can take these things out after you put them in, right? So if you want to do those shots with the Tiger Force guys, and then you want to do some dyno capture action with this thing here, you know, you can do it in a different shot. All right, and here you go. This is the armored up motorcycle. This thing's kind of giving me some like old school Mask vibes. Remember that bike in the old school Mask? You know, it kind of reminds me a little bit of that. Back then, you know, we used to try to use that with our Joes. You know, Masks were a little bit smaller or whatever. But this is giving me kind of some of those vibes. But you see here, you can just go ahead and put a figure on there. Man, that is pretty cool. I must admit. Poof, get out of here, Snake. All right, let's go ahead and look at Nedry here now. Look at Nedry. Look at that face. That's a face only a mother would love. Look at that. He looks so happy. Nedry, did you know, Dennis Nedry, did you know that you died during the movie? No? You didn't know that? This is news to you? How does that make you feel, Nedry? Not too good, huh? Not too good? Yeah, I bet. Look at you, though. Have you been eating? Have you been working out, Dennis Nedry? Yeah, man, I can see the difference. Look at this. Where's that tummy? You're supposed to have a tummy there. Not too shabby. All right, so, I mean, he's a little bit too smiles for me. I mean, that's kind of like a little too happy, but he's got some pretty good articulation here. You can see his arms move. You know, the plastic feels pretty nice. It doesn't feel too cheap. These knees here, I mean, that's pretty good articulation for what it is. I mean, look at that. That's not too bad. It doesn't feel like he's going to break. Like some of these other figures, you can go out like that. Look at that. Some of these other figures, you sit there and you do something like that, and it looks like they're immediately going to break, right? It feels like you're going to snap a leg off, or you snap the lower half of the leg off. Oh, and it's got some, look at that, some rotation there in the knees. Well, this is definitely not a 5 POA figure. There's some pretty good articulation here. You know, not too bad. Can this smiling head move? It's side to side, you can, but you know, Look at those glasses. Look at those spectacles he's got going on there. All right, man, this is pretty cool. I must admit, I wonder if you can get this head off and put another head on. Use this for some fodder, some body fodder. All right, man, that's not too shabby. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these other accessories. I'm gonna put this thing on Nedry, and we're gonna see. This must go like right through his legs, because it's in the center there. All right, let's go ahead and throw this backpack on Nedry there and see what happens. All right, and here we go. Look at this, that nice smiling old Dennis Nedry there. Man, he is packing some heat. Look at that weapon. I guess that's a flamethrower. You got the tanks there. Not too shabby. Kind of cool, man. His smile is hidden now, man. He is not messing around. So, this one looks like a pretty effective weapon there to deal with these old dinosaurs. I mean, on the last review, I don't know if you've seen the last review, but bam! This is Ben. He's from the last Jurassic Park review. He came with one of these silly weapons here, man. This is what they always use in the movies and whatnot. And they're trying to shoot darts at these dinosaurs, and it's not working so well. So, from the weapon department, old Nedry there is definitely packing some heat. But Ben here is not too bad. Between these two action figures here, I feel like Nedry is a little bit more solid as far as the old joints. Like, this is one of those figures where if you bend this knee too much, I feel like it's just gonna straight snap, right? But when you look at them side by side, I feel like a lot more love was put into this guy over here than was put into Ben. But Ben came in a 3-pack with some dinos, 2 dinos, and Ben there. One of those dinos is in the back here, but we'll see him a little bit later. I want to try something. I'm gonna take this thing off of old Dennis Nedry here, and I want to try and put it on somebody else and see how it looks. Bam! And look at this guy. This is a Cobra Trooper from Hasbro. Put that old Nedry. Nedry, stand over there, man. This is a Cobra Trooper from Hasbro. You might have seen these in some of my other reviews. This old backpack, man, this flamethrower is awesome. For any other kind of 3.75, 4-inch. Now, it was a little bit challenging here. I was trying to get him on an old Super 7 guy, but the problem I had is that this helmet doesn't come off, so I couldn't get that around the helmet without shoving it down on there, and then I felt like I could not get it out of there. So I went with one of these troopers because his helmet comes off, so you can just lift this off, and this is what he looks like without the helmet. Look at that. That is pretty cool, man. $9.99. Get a nice little accessory like this. Get a flamethrower for your troopers. Get a bike. A flamethrower and a bike. I mean, I know I'm kind of pivoting away from Jurassic Park here, but hey, man, that is not too shabby. Cannot complain. All right, let's move right along. All right, let's take a look at this dinosaur here. Now, this is a Velociraptor. This is your standard, I would say, budget Velociraptor here. Standard articulation, the jaw, the neck, swivels a bit, the arms. So what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 POA, because the tail should move as well. There you go. Not too shabby. So, pretty standard Velociraptor here. Not too shabby. I like it. This thing comes out, has a nice Jurassic Park sign there with the T-Rex. When you flip it over, it's got some kind of data sheet here. I'm not sure what you do with this. Maybe you scan this online and get some details. But I like it. I like the colors. I like the dinosaurs that are different colors like this, reds and whatnot. Pretty cool. So you got him. You got old Nedry here. I really like this figure. I like the articulation here. I like the movement. If you can get him in, if you could swap that head out with like a trooper head or something, you could use. If you bought multiples of these, like if they drop really cheap, you buy multiple of these so you can do something like this with all your troopers. Have some burning troopers. That's pretty cool. And you can reuse this body for like some other troopers. If this head comes off, I'll have to look into that maybe. It kind of lines up pretty good. We'll do a size comparison here in a minute, but that's pretty cool. And I really do like this bike. I mean, I like the fact that you can use this with multiple lines. 4-inch, 3.75-inch, stand those guys next to it, and you get a lot of really cool play features. Now you push this button, this thing goes flying. I don't want to hit, Bam doesn't want to hit himself in the eye, because that's what I do a lot of times. He's got the weapon here, and this claw kind of extends, and you can grab a dude. You can grab a dude by the knees, put him inside of there. I don't think it does come out. The thing goes out, comes back in. Pretty cool. Now, I mainly bought this for the bike. So, I'm going to use this bike with some G.I. Joes and things. I like that. And then, having this piece here is really cool. That's a nice little bonus. Nedry's body here is really nice. I thought he would be a lot more trashier than he is. So I'm pleasantly impressed there as well. Put him next to Ben. Ben's not nearly as nice as Nedry there. Honestly, I was really just interested in how Nedry got this skinny. This dude's supposed to be dead. He's supposed to be, pretty tore up. I mean, I'm pretty sure he met. Oh, yo, calm down there, flamethrower dude. I'm pretty sure he met an old Dilophosaurus there at one point in time. All right, I'm gonna move some stuff out of the way, and let's go ahead and let's tee up a size comparison. Look at old Ben back there running for his life. I got some other old dinosaurs back there as well. Some of the older Jurassic Park dinosaurs. So this is a Jurassic World Velociraptor. I have 3 of these in my collection. And we got the bite mark there and the JW. These are really old, I think. Early 2000s, maybe. Not quite sure, but they got some dashing action there. You know how Bam likes to do it. I like to get a lot of these guys, and I like to line them up, 2 shots. I got 2 more back there. Get a nice little army build going. Now they kind of went cheap on these. You see the screws through the sides here. Back in the day, let me see if I can get a date off this thing. So, all right, I found it. 2015. It says it there. You got to look real close. 2015 Hasbro. So I guess Hasbro was doing these dinosaurs. That's Hasbro. I guess Hasbro was doing these Jurassic World dinosaurs at some point. This is back during the Jurassic World movie, the JW, I would imagine. But, if you look at what old Hasbro did, I mean, they got some cool play features here. And then, they got the bite mark and everything. But, this is kind of poor. I don't really like that. Seeing those screws there. But if you look at this new dinosaur we have here, you put this guy back. You don't want to stand up. You look at this new dinosaur we have here. You don't see any of that, right? You don't see any screws in here. This is real nice. Real nice. I like that. They're both cool in their own way. If you can get some of the old ones, they kind of work with the new ones as well. You get some nice diorama shots going on. Not too shabby. All right, let's do a size comparison. Who are we going to get for a size comparison today? Bam! This is Steve. Steve is your standard 4-inch action figure. And you line that bad boy up right next to old Dennis Nedry there. And, hey, we're still playing in the 4-inch world. Now, between the 2 of these guys here, Steve here, he's got that whole, if I move this leg thing, he's going to break. Steve, man, come on, man. You're letting me down, bro. Like, I can't even bend your leg. Look at Nedry over there. You have Nedry's stomach. You see that? You should be Nedry. How do I can get your head off? I can get your head off, put old Nedry's head on there, man. I might have to do that for a future video. Go ahead and leave me a comment if you want to see Steve here with Nedry's head. Oh my golly. That seems like, a good time. So yeah, Steve's a 4-inch action figure. As you can see here, we're still playing in the 4-inch world. Steve, come on, man. We're on duty here. You gotta stand up. Steve. We're playing in the 4-inch world. Steve could probably fit on the bike there, but I can't even move his legs. Like, if I move his legs, he's done. But, this guy could probably fit on there pretty good. I mean, that bike is probably the best thing about the set. The second best thing about the set is probably That accessory right there, I mean, that's pretty cool. You can put that on all kinds of action figures. That's a lot of fun. But Nedry, man, like, come on. You know, you're like a guaranteed movie star, right? Like, so what happened? Did you live? Like, I need to know your story. Is this in some kind of a book that I need to read or something? How did you stay alive? Didn't you meet one of those Dilophosaurus? Didn't he tear you up and when you were trying to steal those jeans in the old shaving cream can? Nedry, look out, man! It's the Dilophosaurus. He's coming for you. Steve, be careful, Steve. Oh no, he's spitting. Oh, Steve. Oh man, Steve's dead again. Nedry, why didn't you do anything, buddy? You should have saved him. This is a Dilophosaurus I got from the previous review. Go ahead and check out my review channel. That's a little bit of good fun there. But you know, Steve, he's always in a predicament or another. You know, maybe we get him some armor or something from the future reviews. We'll see how that goes. But you know, this guy's cool too. It's another Jurassic Park dino, and you know, he kind of flips out all the time. And this is kind of Nedry's fate. So you know, see what Nedry can do here to the old Dilophosaurus. Nedry, what are you doing, buddy? Oh my God, Nedry just left. Dude, you just fled the scene. You know what, Nedry? I don't blame you, buddy. I do not blame you at all. He's gone. All right, that's some good fun there. Let's go ahead and tee a rating up for this bad boy. Nedry there, man, you're looking pretty cool on that bike, let me tell you. See, get out of here. You're looking pretty cool on that bike there. This is some good fun. You know, I like this. I got this set on the cheap. You know, got nice little accessories there. Not gonna complain. Oh, don't even forget, this whole set had a dinosaur. So look at Nedry. He's all running away from that dino there, man. And then this guy back here, you know, he came with the accessory. Come on, man, stand. All right, let's go ahead and look at old Ben in the back there. Man, Ben's just trying to run away. Let's go ahead and tee up a review for this here Jurassic Park Classic 93 Dennis Nedry Track and Chase Pack. All right, from an articulation standpoint, I'm going to go ahead and give this a thumbs up. I think that's pretty clear. This Nedry figure feels like quality, you know. He's got some great articulation. He's maybe a little bit skinnier than I expected. You know, we'll see what we can do about that. But, you know, he seems like a really solid action figure. This bike is really cool. It scales with a lot of your 4-inch action figures. You put this thing on G.I. Joe. Tiger Force is like a guaranteed, like, you know, the old Tiger Force. The color's a little off. I would imagine it would be a little bit more yellow, but hey, you can't complain. You get like 3 or 4 of these in a nice diorama shot in the background with some Tiger Force troops, G.I. Joe troops. It's gonna look awesome. Got some nice little play features here with the shooting. I'm gonna shoot your eye out type thing. Watch out for the little ones on that. The dinosaur there, I mean, he's, you know, your standard quality dinosaur from Jurassic Park. You can't complain. The whole set here, $9.99. Let's go ahead and talk about affordability. From the affordability standpoint, I'm also going to give it a thumbs up. There's a lot of play features here. There's a lot of fun packed into this. I definitely think it's worth it. Is it worth the full price? Let's see, what did the full price say? $17.99 is what it says for the original price. I would say it's definitely worth $18 as well. That accessory alone, that's going to get a lot of cool play features for your other, your other lines. You can put that on Ben. Could you imagine Ben with a flamethrower? That'd be pretty cool, Ben, man. It's better than this thing you were trying to kill dinosaurs with, man. Get out of here. But the bike, Nedry, Dino, that accessory, all those things together, definitely affordable. Let's go ahead and give this an overall rating here. For an overall rating for this, I'm going to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Old Ben here definitely recommends this. You can get a lot of fun out of this. You know, maybe you can use the body as some fodder. You know, put some other heads on there. I'm going to play around with that and see what I can do. I'm definitely going to use the bikes, but, you know, definitely fun in the play field. You can get a lot of good out of this at a very affordable, cheap price. All right, I'm Bam, and this has been a Bam review. Check out my channel. I've got some Jurassic Park reviews. I've got some Super 7 Transformers, G.I. Joe Classified, some retro, modern type goodness. You'll see all kinds of stuff. I do yard sale hauls. I'm going to start getting into hauls in general, just kind of showing you all some things I get as I get them. But that's all we have for today in the Jurassic Park world. I'm going to tee up another review after this. We might be staying in the dinosaur world. Who knows? Maybe we'll go into aliens again. I don't know. We'll see where we go. But that's all that I have for now. I'm Bam, and I'm